Thanks for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Mark Martin. President Trump is heading to Capitol Hill today to lobby Republican senators to pass a tax reform bill this week. Dale Hurd has the story.
In Washington, the Christmas rush is on to pass tax reform before the end of the year. But there are obstacles.
Will you get this done by Christmas, Senator?
I hope so.
Some say they better get it done. President Trump's year-end agenda hangs in the balance, as do Republican chances in 2018.
We're going to give the American people a huge tax cut for Christmas. Hopefully that will be a great, big, beautiful Christmas present.
But this is primarily about both boosting the economy as well as having a signature accomplishment going into the 2018 elections.
The goal is to get the economy growing again, to get people with a little more take-home pay they can spend the way they see fit or save it for their retirement, and to make the United States economy competitive in a global economy.
Trump and GOP leaders are scrambling to make changes to the Senate version to woo several Republican holdouts. Republicans have only 2 votes to spare in the Senate. If just 3 Republicans oppose it, the bill will fail.
If you don't get to 50, what's plan B if you don't get to 50?
Senators, the CBOs.
We intend to get to 50.
Mr. Chairman, are you concerned about the major differences between the Senate and House tax plans?
No, because we're generally able to get together and solve these problems, and I think we will.
In a sign that Republicans are preparing to compromise, Senator Rand Paul wrote in an opinion column for Fox News, "I'm not getting everything I want, far from it, but I've been immersed in this process. I've fought for and received major changes for the better, and I plan to vote for this bill as it stands right now." Among the holdouts are deficit hawks who worry that tax cuts for businesses and individuals would add to the nation's mounting $20 trillion debt. So the final bill may contain a trigger mechanism to increase taxes if federal deficits start to go up. All this is happening amid a backdrop of more and more members of Congress facing sexual harassment charges. And with Republicans holding such a slim majority in the Senate, President Trump hasn't expressly endorsed embattled Alabama Senate candidate Roy Moore, but he has been attacking his Democratic opponent. But while sexual harassment dominates the headlines, the Senate is focusing on its own priority, hoping to pass a tax reform bill this week so the details can be worked out with the House and the President can sign the bill by the end of the year. Dale Hurd, CBN News.
As Congress prepares for the end of the year, one senator is highlighting some expensive mistakes made in 2017. Abigail Robertson brings us more from Washington.
A production of Doggy Hamlet might sound cute, but should federal taxpayers really pay $30,000 for it? Senator James Lankford exposes 100 federal fumbles in this report, where he shows how wasteful federal spending costs taxpayers more than $470 billion this year.
We identified them, try to be able to put them out and say, how do we fix this? Not just this individual piece, but the bigger piece so we can get on top of our debt and deficit.
Among this year's most eye-opening discoveries, an $85 million loan to build a hotel in Kabul, Afghanistan. $2.6 million for research on how stickleback fish adapt to different environments. And $40,000 to study 60 Syrian refugees living in Iceland. Also in the report, examples of government inefficiency and wrongdoing at taxpayers' expense. Case in point, the Defense Department's inability to track down more than $1 billion worth of equipment purchased for Iraqi security forces. And with all the evidence of wasteful spending, Lankford pointed out how damaged houses of worship can't get federal disaster help.
FEMA does grants for disaster for all nonprofits except for houses of worship. So if your church is damaged in a disaster, you can't get federal assistance like other nonprofits can get because FEMA specifically discriminates against houses of worship.
Lankford says the next challenge is fixing the chaotic budget process.
All of these are examples to say this is an example of the problem, but the problem is a bigger issue, and it's the process itself and how it comes together.
Congress has only stuck to their budget 4 times in the last 40 years. One of the main causes putting our national debt at over $20 trillion and our 2017 deficit at $666 billion. As Republicans move on tax reform, Some lawmakers have expressed concern about what impact tax cuts could have on our national debt and deficit. But Lankford hopes cuts will boost the economy enough to offset the deficit.
If you reduce taxes a little bit, not a lot, if you reduce taxes a little bit, it increases the economic health of the nation. That's a positive thing, and it offsets. My goal is to say we reduce taxes enough that we can still take care of debt and deficit, but we also can help strengthen the economy.
Although many details of the tax plan are still being worked out, Senator Lankford tells me he's confident meaningful tax reform will be in place by January 1st. Reporting from Capitol Hill, Abigail Robertson, CBN News.
Alabama Republicans are facing a big decision. The Senate race to replace Attorney General Jeff Sessions is just weeks away. For Democrat Doug Jones to beat embattled Republican Roy Moore, he'll have to peel off some Republicans in the deeply red state. Moore is counting on reliable GOP voters to send him to Washington. He's also working to keep disenchanted Republicans from staying home. For both men, more moderate voters in the middle may hold the path to victory. The race narrowed when multiple women came forward to accuse Moore of sexual misconduct decades ago. In a week that's supposed to be focused on tax reform, President Donald Trump is working to douse a political fire sparked by name-calling. It happened at an event at the White House to honor World War II Navajo Code Talkers, a group of heroic Native Americans who helped the U.S. military send coded messages during the war. The president told the men they're very special people who have been here a long time, then brought up Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren, calling her Pocahontas. When the Democrat ran for the Senate in 2012, she made claims of Native American heritage. During Trump's campaign, Warren called him a loser and other names, and Trump responded by calling her Pocahontas. While Pocahontas wasn't Navajo, a spokesman for the tribe says no member of a tribal nation should be the punchline of a joke. Now Senator Warren is using the president's comments to raise money. While some try to rewrite the story of Christmas, Fox and Friends host Brian Kilmeade is pointing out a story of divine intervention in U.S. history. His new book, Andrew Jackson and the Miracle of New Orleans, shows how prayer made the difference in a battle that shaped America's destiny. Ben Kennedy sat down with Kilmeade at Fox Radio in the Big Apple.
Odds are you've seen him on TV or heard him on the radio, as Brian Kilmeade spends 6 hours a day live on air. But he's also a bit of a history buff. He wrote a book about the Battle of New Orleans and how Andrew Jackson needed a miracle to win the battle with the help of some prayer. In 1812, America found itself at war again with the British, who wanted redemption after losing the Revolutionary War. Redcoats had the U.S. on the run, and the White House was in flames. President James Madison sent General Andrew Jackson to New Orleans, where the British hoped to capture the city and control the Mississippi River, cutting off trade to America.
What I take from Andrew Jackson, The Miracle of New Orleans, is the more you look at it, the more the victory makes absolutely no sense.
That's because Jackson's army was outnumbered and outgunned. Now, Jackson almost died multiple times. He was shot, his left arm's in a sling. He suffered from dysentery, yet he managed to get on his horse,
unbelievable,
head out to battle, and command his men. What was his motivation? What got him out there?
Well, I'll put it this way. He lived his life for revenge on the British, and he lived his life because he bled red, white, and blue.
His patriotism combined with prayer from local nuns helped Jackson devise a plan to defeat the British.
This is the home of the Ursuline nuns. It dates back hundreds of years. They prayed for Jackson's success. And among the people who think that these nuns brought him a miraculous victory, Major General Andrew Jackson himself.
It's the miracle. It's praying for a miracle, the Catholic Church and the Battle of New Orleans. I mean, that is where we know that there was divine intervention.
The convent was said to have warded off danger in the past and prayed for protection for Jackson and his troops. Do you think his faith and prayer had any kind of an impact on the outcome of this battle?
Well, he did. And he absolutely, 25 years later, he goes back and he had to go visit the convent, and he told them that it had everything to do with it. Instead, he became a little bit more, he became more religious and more thoughtful about seeing the big picture.
Jackson ordered his men to build a wall, dig a canal, and wait for the British charge. Brian, this is a line from your book. Jackson said, "No British soldier shall enter the city as an enemy unless over my dead body." Does that really tell you who this man was? Look, I'm willing to die to win.
So not only that, he inspired his men to have the same mindset. They feared and revered him.
It's that admiration which played a part in America fighting off Great Britain and winning its second war for independence.
I think they could be learned that it's patriotism first and party second. You know, that's what you learn from Jackson.
Andrew Jackson went on to become the 7th president of the U.S., someone who Kilmeade said our current leaders can learn from. Ben Kennedy, CBN News, New York City.
Coming up, we'll break down the dangers behind NSAID pain relievers. Welcome back. People who take NSAIDs, a common type of pain reliever, are at an increased risk of heart failure. That's the finding from recent research. As Lori Johnson explains, this is just the latest red flag about these drugs.
Robert Carnes is one of millions who takes an NSAID for achy joints, sinus pressure, or other types of pain. NSAID is short for non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug. NSAIDs include naproxen like Aleve, ibuprofen like Motrin and Advil, and aspirin. NSAIDs also come in prescription strength doses, and those doses are what the study looked into.
A study of 10 million people shows the use of prescription NSAIDs increases the risk of heart failure by 20%. The risk increases with the amount of NSAIDs a person takes, up to 50% for people who take very high doses.
One of the authors of the study said our findings, which focused only on prescription NSAIDs, might apply to over-the-counter NSAIDs as well. Although over-the-counter NSAIDs are typically used at lower doses and for shorter durations, they are sometimes available at the same doses as prescription NSAIDs, and they may be inappropriately overused. This is just the latest of many warnings about NSAIDs. Previous research revealed they are responsible for 16,000 deaths each year and 100,000 hospitalizations, from things like kidney failure, heart attack, stroke, and ulcers. That was Robert's problem. NSAIDs led to his painful ulcers.
That surprised me. I had no clue.
Gastroenterologist Daniel Newman says he sees a lot of patients with serious intestinal bleeding brought on by taking NSAIDs. He says you should be concerned if you
develop a change in the color of your stool, black, tarry bowel movements, you start to have vomiting or nausea, you're throwing up stuff that looks like coffee, black coffee ground-like material. Even in the absence of pain, this could be a sign of intestinal bleeding.
Despite the risks associated with NSAIDs, patients should talk to their doctor before they quit using them, because they do perform the important function of reducing inflammation. But you can often do that just by switching to an anti-inflammatory diet. One high in fresh vegetables and healthy fats, but low in sugar, carbohydrates, and processed foods. Lori Johnson, CBN News.
Up next, witness a celebration for the ages as one village gets fresh water and a better way of life. See how one group is bringing clean water to parched villages. You can get it everywhere, from your kitchen sink to your local convenience store. We're talking about water, but for many people around the world, it really is a precious commodity. One woman has tracked around 190,000 miles just to get a few gallons of water a day for herself and her family. CBN's George Thomas has her story and what's being done to help her and others in need of safe drinking water.
The next time you turn on your tap, think of Kanzi Kahindi.
I would be a lot healthier than I am today if I didn't have to travel so far for water.
Kanzi lives in sub-Saharan Africa, where an estimated 319 million people have no access to safe drinking water. Twice a day, she leaves her small hut made of sticks and stones. here in rural eastern Kenya and walks to the nearest place she can find water.
My back hurts, and I'm always in pain.
For many of us, water is just a tap away. For Kanzi, getting access to life's most basic need is anything but easy.
I've been fetching water since I was 7 years old.
I joined her and others as they made the daily trek to the only source of water. This muddy pond polluted by animal and human waste. Kanzi fetches water from this pond morning and evening, and she walks 13 miles each day, which translates to roughly about 4,700 miles every year. And guess what? She has been doing this for the last 40 years, which means she has logged close to about 190,000 miles. Hard to believe, really, but Kanzi is not alone. A staggering 1 billion people around the world don't have access to clean running water. In fact, in Africa alone, where the burden of fetching water often falls to women and children, nearly 40 billion hours a year is spent collecting water.
Number 4, we have what? The last one. We have the molars.
Dudu Mwero teaches math at a rural primary school. He says time spent gathering water is time children could be learning to read, write, earn an income, or take care of their family.
What percentage of your children go every day to fetch water?
70%.
And the water they've spent all that time collecting isn't even clean. Some 2,000 children die each day from water-related diseases. Like Kanzi, Hananyale grew up collecting water for her family's survival and often got sick. Now, she's with the Christian organization World Vision, trying to improve water conditions in one of the poorest counties in Kenya.
I'm so passionate to improve the situation here because it is an experience I went through. I used to walk 6 kilometers to get water as early as 5 years old.
Since 2008, World Vision has drilled borehole wells and installed hundreds of miles of pipeline to transport water to tens of thousands of families across this desert region.
When we came here, it was at 18%, but currently the access to clean water has improved to 62%, which is a big relief to this community.
Soon, Kanzi Kahindi's village will have access to clean water for the first time.
This is a great day for them, and that's why you see them celebrating behind there.
World Vision is installing a new solar-powered borehole well that will bring water to countless families.
We are saving thousands of lives. We are also transforming the lives of many, many children because many of them will be able to go to school now.
Fatuma Rumba has experienced the transformation that comes from having access to clean water. She used to spend 4 hours a day walking for water until World Vision drilled a well in her community. Now, the trip to the tap takes only a few minutes. The rest of her time is spent tending to a small vegetable garden that feeds her family and nearby communities.
You take water for granted, but for us here, it is gold. Our children are clean, they are healthy, and they can go to school.
Mind you, fetching water isn't just time-consuming, it's physically demanding. Kanzi Kahindi uses a jerry can, a bright yellow plastic container, to carry the water.
Okay, don't do this on TV, okay? But I'm going to, oh my gosh, fly me.
And filled to the brim, it holds 5 gallons and weighs 40 pounds.
Imagine carrying 5 gallons of water every day. And here in Africa, a woman travels about 15 miles on average per day.
Experts say there's a water crisis that threatens the future for hundreds of millions of people. Yet, aid groups like World Vision and others are working tirelessly to bring clean, safe drinking water much closer to the people who need it, in the hopes that ultimately that access will mean education, income, and health, especially for women and children here in Africa and around the world. George Thomas, CBN News, reporting from Kilifi County in southeastern Kenya.
wonderful to see those children getting that clean, fresh water, something we unfortunately take for granted here in the U.S. Well, stay with us. More of NewsWatch is on the way. Don't go away. CBN has launched a medical mission that is helping to restore the eyesight of children and the elderly in Peru. More than 1,300 people traveled to the city of Santiago for vision care, some traveling more than 8 hours to get there. The medical mission was able to provide cataract surgery to 108 people, and 1,200 children and elderly received a pair of free glasses. Peruvians even had the opportunity to learn about the love of Jesus through the ministry. That is awesome. Well, that's it for now on CBN NewsWatch. Hope you'll join us next time. Have a great day.